I will open up our special board meeting tonight. Okay. Board members Case Soleno and Board Member Villegas are unable to join us this evening. We do have a quorum. I will identify the closed session topics tonight. Closed session topics are public employee assignment, reassignment, public employee discipline, dismissal, release, complaints, conference with labor negotiator, and that's it. Is there any comment on any closed session topic? Any public comment? Seeing none, we'll adjourn to closed session.
And join.
Welcome. We'll now reconvene the special board meeting. I'll introduce the interpreter. Adam Avalos will serve as the Spanish interpreter for this meeting. Meeting attendees who would like to listen to the Spanish interpretation of the meetings, please pick up headphones from the table located in the back of the meeting room. This announcement will now be shared in Spanish.
Adam Ábalos servirá como intérprete al español para esta reunión. Invitamos a los asistentes de la reunión que deseen escuchar la interpretación al español, el ir por audífonos a la mesa ubicada al fondo de esta sala de reuniones.
This meeting is being webcast live and recorded. The meeting or webcast may capture images and sounds of those attending the meeting. Any member of the public wanting to provide public comment on items listed on tonight's agenda, please fill out the public comment form. It's a green form. It's located on the table in the back of the room. Public comment will be heard at the time the agenda item number 4 comes up. Please hand your form to the administrative assistant, Ms. Smart. Ms. Smart is sitting at the table in the back of the room. Members of the public providing public comment, please use the microphone stand located in the front of the room. If we can all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready? Salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, I will now report action taken in closed session. There's quite a bit of staff changes that I will be reading. And so I will now begin. In closed session on a motion by Board Member Gamonian and a second by Board Member Blair, the board agreed by a vote of 5-0 with 2 absent to reassign Mr. Andre Pacina to the position of Administrator of Outreach and Communication. Andre Pacina currently serves as the Administrator of Curriculum for Visalia Unified. Prior to being employed by Visalia Unified School District, Mr. Pacina served as the Assistant Superintendent of Golden Plains Unified School District. Prior to this, he worked for Fresno Unified School District, where he served as an Executive Director, Principal, and Assistant Principal. He began his career teaching at Sanger High School and Parlier High School for a total of 10 years. Mr. Pacina earned a master's degree in educational leadership as well as a bachelor's in arts and English from National University. He also earned a Bachelor of Arts in Mass Communication, Journalism, Broadcast Production emphasis from California State University, Fresno. Additionally, he holds a single subject English credential and an administrative services credential. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, congratulations to Mr. Andre Pacina. In closed session on a motion by Board Member Gaby and a second by Board Member Gamonian, the board agreed by a vote of 4-1 with 2 absent to appoint Judy Burgess to the position of Administrator of Human Resources Development. Judy Burgess currently serves as the Director of Equity and Student Services. Dr. Burgess has served Visalia Unified for a total of 15 years. She was the principal at Mineral King School, Elementary School for 3 years, worked as the Administrator of Human Resources for 5 years, as an area superintendent in instructional services for 3 years, and was a Director of State and Federal Projects for 2 years before moving on to her current role. Prior to coming to Visalia Unified School District, Dr. Burgess worked at Newport Mesa Unified School District as an elementary school principal for 5 years and worked at ABC Unified School District as an assistant principal for 2 years. Dr. Burgess holds the Bachelor of Arts degree in Psychology and Computer Science from California State University, Fullerton. a Master of Arts degree in Educational Administration from Chapman University, and a doctoral degree in Organizational Leadership from University of Laverne. She also holds a multiple subject teaching credential and administrative services credential. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, congratulations to Dr. Burgess. In closed session, on a motion by Board Member Naylor and a second by Board Member Blair, the board agreed by a vote of 5-0, 2 absent, to appoint David Pasquini to the position of principal at Green Acres Middle School. David Pasquini has been employed with Visalia Unified School District for a total of 10 years, where he has served as assistant principal at Green Acres Middle School. Prior to his employment with the district, Mr. Pasquini taught social studies at Woodlake Valley Middle School for 7 years, worked as a social study and English teacher for 2 years at American School of Madrid in Madrid, Spain, and served as a middle school teacher of the Diocese of San Jose for 3 years. Mr. Pasquini earned a Bachelor of Arts in History, a Master of Arts in Interdisciplinary Education from Santa Clara University. Mr. Pasquini also holds a single subject teaching credential, social sciences, and an administrative services credential. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, congratulations to Mr. Pasquini. In closed session, on a motion by Board Member Naylor and a second by Board Member Gaby, the board voted 5-0 with 2 absent to appoint Bo Yang to the position of principal at Crowley Elementary School. Bo Yang currently serves as assistant principal at Ivanhoe Elementary. She has been employed with Visalia Unified School District for 11 years. Mrs. Yang has served the district as an intervention teacher, elementary school teacher, assistant principal for various elementary schools across the district. Prior to coming to Visalia Unified School District, Mrs. Yang served Lodi Unified as an elementary school teacher and district instructional coach for 6 years. Ms. Yang earned a Bachelor of Arts in Liberal Studies from University of Pacific, a Master of Arts in Education from California State University, Stanislaus. Ms. Yang also holds a multiple subject teaching credential, a California Reading Specialist credential, and an Administrative Services credential. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, congratulations to Ms. Yang. In closed session, on a motion by Board Member Naylor and a second by Board Member Gamonian, the vote was 5-0 and 2 absent in favor to appoint Megan Pesci to the position of principal at Viva Blunt Elementary School. Megan Pesci has served as the assistant principal at Viva Blunt Elementary for the last year. Prior to her appointment as assistant principal, Ms. Pesci served as elementary school teacher with Visalia Unified for 6 years, was a speech language pathologist at Burton School District for 2 years. She recently served as a summer school principal for Viva Blunt and Linwood Elementary. Ms. Pesci earned a Bachelor of Science in Speech Pathology and Audiology from California State University, Sacramento. Ms. Pesci also holds a multiple subject teaching credential and an administrative services credential. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, congratulations to Ms. Pesci. In closed session, on a motion by Board Member Naylor and a second by Board Member Blair, the vote was 5-0 with 2 absent to appoint Carrie Kears to the position of principal at Fort Clix Elementary. Carrie Kears has been employed with Visalia Unified School District for a total of 16 years. She currently serves as coordinator of educational services, has worked as coordinator of state and federal projects, an assistant principal at Ridgeview Middle School, and taught English at Green Acres Middle School for 8 years. She also serves as a curriculum consultant for Kings County Office of Education for 1 year. Ms. Kears earned a Bachelor of Arts in English and a Master of Arts in Education Administration Supervision from California State University, Fresno. Ms. Kears also holds a multiple subject teaching credential and administrative services credential. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, congratulations to Ms. Kears. In closed session, on a motion by Ms. Blair and a second by Board Member Gamonian, by a vote of 5-0 and 2 absent, to reassign Serena Arias to the position of Director of Human Human Resources Development. Serena Arias currently serves as Director of Educational Services. Ms. Arias has served Visalia Unified for a total of 13 years. She taught at Konya Elementary, served as teacher of special assignment at Viva Blunt, was a board certified behavior analyst in the social emotional wellness department, and was the coordinator of equity and student services prior to being appointed to her current role. Dr. Arias holds a Bachelor of Arts in Liberal Studies, a master's degree in special education, a doctoral degree in educational leadership from California State University, Fresno. She also holds a multiple subject teaching credential, a special education credential, and an administrative services credential. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, congratulations to Ms. Arias. In closed session on a motion by Board Member Gamonia and a second by Board Member Gaby, that by a vote of 5-0 and 2 absent, to appoint Daniel Bishop to the position of Visual Performing Arts, Director of Visual Performing Arts. Daniel Bishop currently serves as State Center Community currently works at State Center Community College as the choral director and music appreciation instructor, where he has worked for the last 15 years. He also worked for the last 23 years at Clovis Unified School District as a choir, band, orchestra, AP music theory teacher, and music department chair. Mr. Bishop serves as a music teacher at CSU Fresno, Madera Unified School District, Dinuba Public Schools, Emmanuel High School, and University of Missouri before starting his career at Clovis Unified. Mr. Bishop holds a Bachelor of Arts in Vocal and Instructional Music Education from Tabor College and a Master of Arts in Music from University of Missouri. He holds a single subject teaching credential, music, and a community junior college teaching credential in music. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, congratulations, Mr. Bishop. Okay, this is the last one. In closed session on a motion by Board Member Gamonia and a second by Board Member Blair, the board voted 5-0 with 2 absent to appoint John Perez to the position of Director of Athletic Programs. John Perez has been employed with Visalia Unified Schools District for a total of 26 years. He served Mount Whitney High School as athletic director for 14 years and taught business for 12 years. Prior to coming to Visalia Unified School District, Mr. Perez taught business for 1 year at Reedy High School. Mr. Perez holds a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration from California State University, Fresno, and a Master of Arts in Teaching from Grand Canyon University. He also holds a single subject teaching credential and business administrative services credential. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, congratulations to Mr. Perez. Okay, item 3.5, revisions to the agenda and enclosure items. There is a revision in the meeting handout for this evening's meeting, enclosure number 6. Okay, public comment on items listed on the agenda. Okay, public comments on items listed on the board meeting agenda may be heard at this time pursuant to board policy. The board may limit individual comments to no more than 3 minutes and individual topics to 20 minutes. It is recommended you begin your comments by stating your name. Are there any public comments for the board? Seeing no public comment, we'll move on to our next item on the agenda. The next item on the agenda is 5.1, appointment of secretary to the board by law 9122, enclosure number 1. Superintendent Kirschstrom.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is a motion to appoint the superintendent, myself, as secretary. The governing board via policy shall appoint the superintendent to serve as secretary to the board. The secretary to the board shall be responsible for maintaining an accurate and complete record of all board proceedings and shall prepare, distribute, and maintain the agenda, record, distribute, and maintain board minutes, maintain board records and documents, conduct official correspondence for the board, as directed by the board, sign and execute official papers, and perform any other duties as assigned by the board. Mr. President, I think this is ready for a motion.
Are there any questions or comments from the board? Is there a motion?
I'll move to appoint Superintendent Schrum as the secretary to the board.
Motion by Ms. Naylor. Is there a
I'll
second?
second.
Second by Ms. Blair. All in favor?
Board Member Blair,
Yes.
Board Member Gaby.
Yes.
I vote yes. President Guerrero,
Yes.
Board Member Naylor.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-2 absent.
We're going to move on to our consent calendar. Would any board member like to pull an item from consent calendar? If none, would any board member like to make a motion to approve the consent calendar?
I move to approve our consent calendar.
Motion by Board Member Gaby. Is
I'll
there a
second.
second? Second by Ms. Blair. All in favor?
Board Member Gaby.
Yes.
I vote yes. President Guerrero,
Yes.
Board Member Naylor.
Yes. That was a yes.
And Board Member Blair.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-2 absent.
We'll move on to 7.1. 7.1 is collective bargaining agreement between Visalia Unified School District and Visalia Unified Teacher Association, VUDA, for 22-23 enclosure number 11. As Chief Business Officer Nathan Hernandez will handle this enclosure.
Good evening, President Guerrero and members of the board, Nathan Hernandez. Tonight, the collective bargain agreement between the Visalia Unified School District and the Visalia Unified Teachers Association is coming for your approval. I see Mr. Price in the audience, and so I want to thank him and his folks for all of the work that they did on this agreement. The tentative agreement was signed on June 27th and has been approved by the association. There is a requirement that the agreement be brought to the board to disclose the major provisions of the agreement, the cost, and so there is the public disclosure is attached to this agenda, as well as the tentative agreement or TA and the salary schedules. So just to review some of the major provisions of the agreement, the independent study MOU for 21-22 has expired, and so that 4.5% increase was removed from the salary schedule. This agreement includes a 7.56% salary increase for teachers, a $2,500 one-time off schedule salary payment that will happen this week in July of 22. The district will contribute an additional $180 per year to the health and welfare benefit package, bringing that total contribution to $14,446 per employee. And there are no changes to class size. There are also some minor changes to some language regarding absence reporting, some extra duty assignments, as well as how professional development will be managed this coming school year. During negotiations, the parties also addressed communication between the district, site administration, general education teachers, special education teachers, and other team members to support student success through the SISS framework, a clear understanding of the special education continuum and the relationship between student behavior and intervention in special education. The parties are presently finalizing an MOU addressing these matters that are not subject to the collective bargaining agreement at this time. So I think this is ready for motion by the board.
Are there any questions or comments by the board? Would a board member like to make a motion?
I like to make a motion.
Ms. Gamonia?
I make a motion to adopt and approve the collective bargaining agreement between Visalia Unified School District and Visalia Unified Teachers Association and the certificated salary schedules for the fiscal year of 2022 through 23, effective July 1st, 2022.
Second.
Okay, make sure,
do I keep
the motion has been made by Ms. Gamonia, second by Ms. Naylor. All in favor?
President Guerrero,
Yes.
Board Member Naylor,
Yes.
Board Member Blair,
Yes.
Board Member Gaby.
Yes.
I vote yes. Motion carries 5-2 absent.
Our next item on the agenda is enclosure number 12, item 7.2, modification of confidential salary schedule.
She's got this wrong. in here. It's
Yeah,
10.
my numbers are kind of mixed up on my agenda here. So it's a modification to confidential salary schedule effective July 1st. Chief Business Officer Nathan Hernandez.
Good evening again. This item is being brought back to the board. The confidential salary schedule was approved by the board on June 28th. It's being back to the board to show that Division C has been replaced by a new Division C, which was not as clear when it was initially brought to the board last month. New Division C was added to provide some consistency between the divisions and on the confidential salary schedule.
Good. Okay, would anybody like to make a motion here?
I'll make a motion to adopt and approve the modification to the confidential salary schedule for the fiscal year 2022-23 retroactive to July 1st, 2022.
Okay, Board Member Gaby has made a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Board Member Blair seconds. All in favor?
Board Member Naylor,
Yes.
Board Member Blair,
Yes.
Board Member Gaby.
Yes.
I vote yes. President Guerrero,
Yes.
motion carries 5-0. I mean, 5-2 absent, sorry.
Thank you.
All right, we're gonna move on to. Okay, I'm gonna follow
let-
the agenda, but these things are numbered incorrectly, okay? The notice of intent to employ certificated personnel and approval of provisional internship permit. And that presenter will be Assistant Superintendent Andy DeMayo.
Thank you, President Guerrero, Superintendent Shrum, members of the board. I am here this evening to bring 4 different matters to your attention. These are all to allow us to provide special certifications to employees we have as we're getting ready to start the school year. The first one that I'm asking you to consider tonight is a notice of intent to provide a personal approval variable term waiver for our health services coordinator. Just so you're aware, this will give our health services coordinator a little bit more time to finish up the credentialing that's necessary for her admin services credential.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by Ms. Gaby. Who did the second? Okay, Ms. Nader second. All in favor?
Board Member Blair,
Yes.
Board Member Gaby.
Yes.
I vote yes. Board Member Guerrero,
Yes.
Board Member Naylor.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-2 absent.
The next item on the agenda is notice of intent to employ certificated personnel and approval of variable term waiver request for CCSD certification. And Mr. DeMayo is the presenter.
So once again, we have an individual who's going to be joining us this next year. The certification requires a little bit of specialized instruction that this employee does not quite have just yet. But we're really confident that she's going to be great and do wonderful things for us. So we're asking your consideration to approve this waiver for her tonight.
Is there a motion?
All motion to approve?
I'll second.
Motion by Ms. Nader, second by Ms. Gaby. All in favor?
Board Member Gaby.
Yes.
I vote yes. President Guerrero,
Yes.
Board Member Naylor.
Yes.
Board Member Blair.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-2 absent.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda is notice of intent to employ certificate management personnel and approval of administrative services credential and waiver requests. Mr. DeMayo.
Okay, so this one, and I apologize, the enclosures seem to be off, sir, but this one is the one that's talking about, we are bringing on 2 new managers to our school district. These are both individuals who have been teaching with us for quite a while. We're moving them into management positions and they just need a little bit of time to complete the coursework necessary for their admin services credentials.
Would anyone like to make a motion here?
All motion to approve?
Ms. Bear motions. Is there a second?
Second,
Second by Ms. Kamonian. All in favor?
President Guerrero,
Yes.
Board Member Naylor.
Do we need clarification? on
Yeah,
this?
Naylor is the one that made the motion.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Naylor is the one that made the motion
Oh.
and then Gamoyen made the second. Did you get
Okay.
that?
No,
Okay, sorry.
Got that?
yeah, I got it now.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to start over for the roll call. Board Member Guerrero,
Yes.
Board Member Naylor.
Yes.
Board Member Blair.
Yes.
Board Member Gaby.
Yes.
I vote yes. Motion carries 5-2 absent.
Okay, we have no more items on the agenda.
Mr. Guerrero,
There's
we just had one that we skipped over. It's the one for the
Okay.
CCSD certification waiver.
Okay,
I show enclosure 15, but
yeah. Okay, go ahead.
so what this one is going to allow, we have a couple instructors that are going to be working with us, have been working with us. We're asking that they be allowed to teach out of their credential. So the state of California gives us the opportunity to do so as long as the school board is aware of it. And again, these are individuals that we have contracted with. We're just going to ask them to teach a different subject that they're not credentialed in. However, they've got the skill to be able to do it.
Okay, would anybody like to make a motion?
Can I just, what enclosure are we on?
And
15.
No,
Not really.
Not really.
the numbers are messed up in our books.
Yeah, it
They are.
is enclosure 13.
So what you show is enclosure 13.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay. Would anyone like to make? a
I'll make the
motion?
motion.
Okay, Ms. Naylor?
So on ours, that's just the position, not a person, though on ours, correct?
You're approving, there's two of them, but yes, that's what you're approving, our ability to do so.
But there's no individual, it's just a position.
Mhm, Two.
Okay, I'll
Ms.
second.
Naylor motions?
I'll second.
There are seconds?
All right, so Board Member Blair.
Yes.
Board Member Gaby.
Yes.
I vote yes. Board President Guerrero.
Yes.
Board Member Naylor.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-2 absent, and we got it.
Got them all. Thank you.
No more items on the agenda. This meeting is adjourned.